I just want to start by saying thank you, God. Um, you know, I start my videos to like that just to be thankful for what I can be thankful for. There's not much going good happening in my life, and it's going to get worse. And I've accepted why this is happening is because I'm a TI, and you know, I've always knew that being a the horrible things that's happening to TI is just obviously bigger than me. From women being tortured to children, babies, and I've noticed that this participant, what they've done as their reality cannot be longer something they can push onto somebody to make to subscribe, which is not reality. They live on false reality that they have to be almost mentally retarded, and they have the audacity to try to gaslight somebody at this point when validations have been extreme. And actually, I realized what's happening is just the cognitive dissonance is so strong. It's just like they can't even read. They don't even know. Like, they think that the way they behave is going to change that. And the truth is, the hatred you have for them is surpassing what they even understand. I just got back. I was on the call with this core employers, and it's just the entitlement was just so disgusting. Listen, I already knew for a while that this program is destroying the life of men, women, and children all around the world. But today, information to see how destructive these trash are and what this program is easily accessible. You can look for something and get information instantly because there's technology like Gemini AI, ChatGPT that can scrape the internet to find things like that. Even when things are deleted, they can find traces of it all. Now, I've already seen the testimonials, the videos of women talking about how they're being tortured with their children. And the damage is not only physical but psychological. I have those videos. But I guess they were getting boring to hear the same thing over and over. And I'm saying they as these perps around me. Because they continuously try to be like, oh, I'm so bored. Oh, because I will listen, it's like, you guys are involved in something that tortures children. You're not going to make me subscribe to your fantasized ways of trying to look like you're protecting children. It's clear that this program is abusing and torturing children in so many horrible ways. Cooking them, torturing them sexually and psychologically. You cannot cover that up. And so, listen to testimonials of different testimonials of mothers observing their toddlers being sexually tortured, finding burn marks on the genitals of these children, and then also describing the psychological torture. With me, I've made a lot of videos talking about this nasty pedophilia type of torture they do to me. It's not unique to me. A lot of time you deal with that. A lot more deal with that and don't speak about it. But Target Vigil will have to be transparent. This is not you. This technology makes you experience that to break you down. It's a psychological breakdown tactic. So don't feel guilty for what they make you experience. You know who you are. You've been you long enough to know who you are. And you know these tactics are not unique to you. They do that to so many others. To discover, I've actually didn't hear it. I heard about the pedophilia type of torture. Other Target Vigil say that. But when you hear that it's applied onto parents, women, toward their children, that shows the level of disgusting. Now, for me, they do these nasty things, but I don't have children. They're going to make me imagine disgusting things with implanting children. They're trying to make me imagine to say something else. When I see an ad, they're going to force me to get sexual stimulation. But I'm not responsible for any children. So I can isolate myself from this disgustingness, and I try to isolate myself from that. But to understand that these same disgusting tactics are forced onto women when they see the children. And to hear the breakdown of a woman who just couldn't even look at her own child, that was happy to show her drawing, and being forced to get this intense sexual arousal as soon as she saw the child. I had to run in the bathroom, cry, because she's broken down. The child's like, Mommy, you don't like my drawing? Why are you crying? This is real stuff. Now for me, they still have this deluded reality that I will subscribe to that. They will make me think of the disgusting things they've made me experience. I've left the country. I've gone outside of this country. It's sometimes even worse. Because you go to this third world country, they don't care. They show their naked kids like in front of you. So that when you see these kids, they do this nastiness, disgusting things. They make me think, parents are involved in this. Family members get involved in this in some cases. I remember with my mother, this man randomly is like, hey, you guys will come to my house. Like we're somewhere else in some third world country. Before we enter the house, you can see the kids naked being washed outside in like bathtub. Naked. It's like, oh, as soon as I saw that, I walked back. Dude, he was like, do you guys want to come in? And I was like, oh, I didn't even say anything. I just looked at her and I just walked back to the car. I was like, I'm not going inside this. No. I don't care if I look rude. I didn't care if they have like in my culture, it's all about being polite and whatnot. I was like, I don't care. I'm not going to go in this house. This kid, I can't. The disgusting things that make me experience when I just see a child just so naked. Nope. I walked by the car. Nope. I'm in the car. They make me think of that. I was like, yeah. That's like trash us. It's random that this person won. And then he was looking at my mother's like, he's like, you want to come? And just he's like, trash. You have children naked there. And in my mind, they were trying to mess with me. It's like, how did you see the kids are visible? They're there. And I'm glad I saw these children because I went right back. But of course, now they make me think of these kids and stimulate me. That's the disgusting things. In some cases, they're so disgusting. What was happening was so disgusting that this is a country, it's a third world country, but you can't just have your kid naked in the streets. A woman was holding her baby, infant, completely naked. Just try to so I see the baby, they can manipulate me. That's the kind of disgusting things they were doing. And so they bring this thing up, this trash who are forcing mothers to get sexual arousal toward their own children. I try to make me be like, no, with you, we won't do that. You're doing that to mothers toward their children. That shows, and that's not just one or two, it's commonly happening. From New York to wherever else. This is commonly happening. And this clown's like, yeah, there's something there, we're matching there, they are. And they want me to be regressed and retarded. Just trust like you're absolutely right, they are a piece of fucking life. You disgusting trash. Death comes to all of us. Thank God that before all these horror things that's happening to me, I can prove like you do that to women, to children, and you think to their own children, and you think me, I'm gonna be no. And then you bring up some person randomly inviting us to come to his house when there's naked children there. When they're, and then me just going back to the car, it's like, no, they're gonna see me seeing these kids and then like going the other way. Because I know what these nasty things they do to me. They were trying to even mess with me. It's like, did you like lean when you see? No, she's there. And like, yeah, so did you lean? I was like, no, I lean. I was like, oh, no, let's go. No, I saw, I was like, and this trash, our bottom feeder stuff, doing pedophilia type of torture to break people down. It's like, yeah, I proved that you do that to babies. Even women washing their children, bathing them. They force them to get sexual arousals. You know how they want me to convince these things, like make me subscribe to this manipulation, try to bring up what I did as a child and try to even exaggerate. Some clowns like you molest, like we know who's out here molesting children and we know who's harming children and burning them like popcorn. And painting even mothers to be predators to their own children. They're abusing children like it's nothing. And to hear this teenage trash, they utilize this teenage trash. And I was looking at this profession like, for all these children being popcorned, you think I'm going to allow you to? And with them, what happens is when you put the reality in their faces, it's like this, some switch happened. They get frustrated. There's one woman who was so entitled. I'm like looking at her. And she was like, they start making me imagine some disgusting. And she's like, I'm like, I looked at her. I was like, you think I don't know that you implant disgusting thoughts? You do that to women toward their own babies. You know what's the most disgusting? There's testimonials where a woman say, I heard my 4-year-old say something sexual. That's how disgusting. They make them imagine, even their own children imagine disgust. Women are deciding to leave their kids. No. And then it got worse. Because for me, what they've been doing is present themselves as this like feminist and just as you're there. They will bring up this woman, Brittany and Courtney. I was like, I will never allow people involved in a program that does this thing to so many women, even women with children. Even their children are being tortured. Cooking and even forcing these women to have sexual arousal toward their own children. What is too low for you to be like, I don't want to be involved in this? But I guess your rage can make you involved in something where they're cooking children like popcorn. The genitals. Where let's just say the others force people to have sexual arousal toward their own children, women. A lot of testimonials. It's not unique to me. That's the thing. There's so many. Describing, oh, all of a sudden my child jumped on my laps and they start stimulating. Can you imagine? I can't even. My brain, they always try to like change and go into my memories and plan things. Because they can't combat the reality that there is a tactic that is systematic. These people have a game plan that they stick to all the time. This is a machine. And machine do things systematically. Systematically, they attack the psychological aspect of the target individual, manipulate their brain in degrading ways. They stick to what works, and what works is to force people to get these sexual arousals. Because there's no way to be strong enough to deal with it. They do this nasty, disgusting things. And the facade is a facade that's created to make somebody think this is anything but this program that is torturing women and children. That's clearly a governmental program. Now, this participant, they won't enjoy this program because at the end of the day, you are no longer a human being that can think for themselves. You become this control object. And they love that. They love the fact they can be involved in that. No matter what it costs, if I get involved in a program where we are here literally cooking children, some of them will participate in cooking the children, but think that it's like the human being, target individuals are no longer human beings, no matter if they're children. It's like, oh, sad. Just a child suffering this program. Okay, well. To hear them. And the reason why I understand it's just such a facilitated evil. It's so easy to be evil in this program because it's like a normalized thing. It's so easy. You're in your pajamas, you're remotely doing stuff, and a lot of target individuals don't want to crash out until they crash out. That's when things go, like reality dawns on them and they let target individual crash out. With me, what has disgusted me is the facade. But I knew it was a facade. I could tell. It's like this. So many women fried up in this program. You think I'm gonna be like, oh, you guys are still just there? Same women. The women are saying the exact same thing. This being sexually tortured, sexually manipulated, experience, like everything is just systematically. Some of them is like, there's a lot of female being involved in this. It's like, this is impossible to paint the facade that you have created. They're like, no, but for Brittany, for Courtney, we dare to do this. Like, what for Brittany and Courtney? This woman that you don't care about, that you don't know, you got involved in a program where they're cooking women and children? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna let that. It's like, no, we pay time's up. They try to be like feminine. Time's like, what? It's time to stop cooking women's genitals and pushing them to suicide. Yes. I know what you would do to Brittany or Courtney, whoever you claim. There's thousands of them. being cooked up, fried up, raped up, destroyed. And she looked at me, she's like, it's like, for that woman that just discovered killed herself last year. Listen, I know there's a lot more target individuals killing themselves that we know. Some of the target individuals kill themselves without even finding out the target individual. Some of them don't want to speak about it and just do it. But some do. And I know it's a small fraction. I found this woman who apparently her what they call her by is SM or S Luna or S Luna. And it's a woman who's been filming what was happening to her. And as a target individual, what you find out is like your YouTube page and everything else just get banned and stuff like that. And this woman, typical target individual, initially she noticed that there's a high frequency in her in her apartment in New York City, somewhere in Brooklyn. She tries to contact the NYPD. They treat her like crap. She tries to connect with some kind of feminist-like organization. As soon as she brings up that this is happening to her, they're cooking meat, they're doing this and thinking, using this technology, I'm being assaulted via this technology. They try to gaslight her. It's like, stop, don't bring your science fictional torture, sexual torture for the real women who are going through this. And she even, I think, she mentioned that, they were using this verbiage that they were mad at her because she was saying it in the wrong ways. Like, I'm here talking about being sexually assaulted, tortured, and you talk about what verbiage I should use. The typical woke feminist fakeness that's just all about like signaling. And this woman's been cooked up. She ended up jumping off a building and killing herself. Her last video she's like, I haven't slept for 100 hours. I'm being cooked up. She wrote a suicide letter. A suicide letter, which she posted. That was last summer, around last summer, in Brooklyn. She jumped. And I'm going through the details of that because I'm using this AI Gemini, and I know what happens when you use this ChatGPT. You have to like deeper because the language can be transformed in a way that is going to be for you understanding. So they start like this ChatGPT, Gemini AI, you gotta be careful how the information you get is accurate according to but it can just rewrite, and even notice it's actually watering down things. It uses the language that you would understand, and so when they see like a trend of how things are, you process information, they start like tailoring the information shared to you in a way that you understand. So I'm like, just give me as authentically as and I couldn't believe. I was like, where can I give me more details? Yeah, the first video was in March 2025. This happened, and this video came out. I was like, Jesus. At first I was like, maybe they're just messing with the AI thing. It's like, no, on that day, that you can find like some of the martyr or memory RIP on this website. It's like, and I was like, how can you find this information? Oh, what's happening is for this kind of information, Google, YouTube scrubs all this information away. But we go through. But this woman wrote a suicide letter and then killed herself. I gotta go check the suicide letter, but according to what Gemini, which I'll have to verify, it seems like she's like, they're wanting to take my soul, so I'd rather take it with me. Something of that version, like something about her soul that she doesn't want them to have, and so jumped off. something of like, they're doing all this thing, they want to take me, but let me take my soul. It's really sad, but that, like, I can only imagine there's so many more than that happening that we don't even know. But to see the clear here, for me, it's just to put that in the faces of these clowns. You will never make me internalize this. I understand. And to even bring up how obvious a person was trying to make me come to their house because there was naked kids there, that they were bathing, and me having to just being rude and walk just straight to the car, and my mother's just like, oh, you see, just, I was like, I'm not really gonna, you want me to go there because there's babies over there, they're washing, and then when I see them, they're gonna do these nasty things. I walked away immediately. And now they try to gaslight me on how this nastiness. The same, when I'm in the same country, there's a woman holding a naked baby right in the street like that. It is a third world country, but this kind of things is not allowed. But what broke me is just to hear this woman who killed herself. I know there's so many more. And to me, they're like, yeah, the most disgusting about this purpose, they still try to present this like facade of feminism. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna die for her. They would even try to mock the fact that this woman ended up killing herself, right? And then be like, oh, she's dead. Oh, he's sad. And I was like, oh yeah, you doing it for Britney? Oh, pay for that, die for that. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, pushing women to kill themselves, and then like for Britney, oh my gosh, the rage. I know what you would do to her. Force her to jump. And today they tell me how I'm gonna be firing this and that. I was like, first of all, don't worry, I know who destroyed me. When I reveal what industry got involved in this, I'm like, I get the stupidity. I get it. And they still try to paint themselves like, yeah, we're a bunch of, it's like, your gender doesn't cover up reality. And I know that in this program, gender is also used to cover up the sufferings of people of the same gender. Sometimes these women are looking for refuge in a place where there's places where they're supposed to be protecting women. What they do, they become the gaslighters. So I know this is about figure out how to just gaslight somebody. I can't let that happen. For all the women that have suffered, that have killed themselves, that can't even hold their own kids, that have seen their kids being cooked like popcorn, that have seen their children having some burn marks on their genitals because they've been cooked in the genitals, that have listened to next door trashy teenage trash mocking the sufferings of their children, who've gone blind, who've seen their children go blind, who've been handicapped or crippled. You will not live that fantasy. I will not let you speak the name of Britney or Courtney, women that you will burn the life out of them. They'll talk about, they always talk about, I'm going to be in the furnace, in the oven, and this and that. Guess what's some of the words this woman who killed herself? She's like, oh, they put the oven to the max. They're cooking me. The furnace, this and that, oven. The same language they use. Never. Talking with you, stay strong. Do not internalize these things. No matter what disgusting facade is in front of you, this trash will pay. They'll get theirs. One way or another. Maybe not today, but they will get theirs.